Hi everyone! So today we're going to talk about human influence on traits. What I want you to do is open the slideshow and follow along with me, and that way when you have the option to watch the video, you can pause my presentation and just put on the video. So today we're going to examine the ways in which humans influence traits by selective breeding. Think about all the different dog breeds in this picture. What does your dog look like if you have one? What do your friends' dogs look like? As you can see, here's a wolf over here, along with many different types of dogs and styles. Some have fluffy hair, some have spots, some have multiple colors on their coat, some have like stuffed up snouts, some are little, so you can see that there's so many different styles of dogs. So right now I want you to pause my slideshow or my presentation, and I want you to watch this dog video, okay? And then when you're done watching that, we'll keep going with the presentation. So over time, dogs have changed a little bit. So the black and white pictures are from, 1900. You have your Bull Terrier, your English Bulldog, your German Shepherds, and then here's what they look like today. So there's definitely been some changes within the breeds. This one, it looks like his nose changed a little bit and his legs got a little shorter. This one looks a lot bigger in size compared to the older ones. This one kind of looks the same, but maybe it's just different color coats and the different color hair. And then again, we have your sheepdog, your basset hound, and your dachshund. The basset hound looks like he has longer ears compared to what he used to. The dachshund does look a little similar, maybe a little longer. This one definitely looks a lot more fluffy. So humans have been influencing traits of certain plants and animals for thousands of years. We influence horses for racing and fruits for taste. Domesticated populations are separated from the wild population and may become very different from their wild relatives. In a few slides from now, you're going to see what a wild watermelon looked like and what we have turned it into today that we eat. Here's a vocab term for you, selective breeding. It's breeding specific organisms based on preferred traits. Not nature selecting, but humans selecting the traits. So again, if you look here, this is what chickens used to look like, and over the years, from the amount of food we've given them and different, supplements, they've turned into this in order to feed. And then can you pause the presentation and just watch this video, which kind of explains a little bit more about this. Artificial selection, here is another vocab term. It's the human control of reproduction in order to influence the traits in offspring. So it encourages traits in a population that humans want, but it discourages traits that are undesirable to humans. The traits people choose may not improve an organism's chance for survival or reproduction, unlike natural selection. So this is, humans, keep breeding dogs that have blue eyes because they really like the blue eyes. It's not going to make the dog survive better. It's just more of a physical feature that humans like. You can only affect traits already present in the population. And then desired traits must be heritable. Again, we pass our traits down from parent to offspring. Again, you have all of these dogs, which are a common ancestor of your gray wolf. So over time, the gray wolf has turned all of these dog breeds. We've talked a little bit about the history of evolution and natural selection. Charles Darwin, we talked about the finches and the Galapagos Islands and how their beaks changed over time. We did the whole lab on different bird beaks, and then we did talk about dominant traits and recessive traits. The dominant always overtakes the recessive trait, And then we completed that more with the Punnett squares. Remember the box with the 4 boxes inside and the letters, and we had to decide which traits were dominant. So this has been around for a very long time. These scientists lived before we understood the connection between DNA and cells and traits of the organism. However, we learned that inheritance patterns are predictable. Here's your steps to artificial selection. Humans decide which characteristics or traits are important. Humans then choose the parents that show these characteristics. The best offspring are selected from these parents to breed the next generation. And then you repeat the process to yield higher number of organisms with those desired traits. So if you look at the picture of corn and how it evolved over time because humans selected, the perfect seeds from each corn. So back then it was, this was your wild population of corn. This is what it looked like, it was a lot longer and skinnier. And then anytime that you would pick corn from the stalks, you would find like that best looking piece and take one seed from it and then use it for your crop the next year. And then you would keep doing this process. You would keep picking the best looking corn from the crops each year and then planting it. And then eventually over time you would get this, much bigger corn that, people enjoy. We do this with food, we do this with cows. Look at what the cows have turned into over the years. And then this is that example of the wild watermelon. This is what it used to look like, and this is what it looks like now. Again, you have your wild banana and your modern day banana. You have your wild eggplant and then your modern day eggplant. And then food varieties. So again, you have your old breed of tomato along with your new breed of tomato. See the difference? Wild carrot, modern day carrot. This is what a wild corn used to look like, and this is what it looks like now. So I want you to pause my presentation and watch this video on why are there so many different types of apples. And then also watch this video on artificial selection and domestication involving dogs from Khan Academy. Here's our last slide. So this is the evolution of wild mustard. So this is the common wild mustard. This is what we started with, and then over the years humans have taken traits from it and turned this plant into these different vegetables that we have today. So it turned into kale, cauliflower, kohlrabi, turnips, cabbage, broccoli, all from this common ancestor of wild mustard. So that's the end of the presentation, all right? Thanks for listening.